Hello students, welcome you to the next topic on shift keying principle. So far we have seen about frequency shift keying method, we have seen about amplitude shift keying method and phased shift keying method. In phase itself we saw two values called as binary FSK system and binary PSK system and binary ASK system, and one more phase we saw it in terms of a quadrature phase shift keying method, we call it as QPSK system. Now we go for the next type of a shift keying method, we call it as quadrature amplitude shift keying method. So this quadrature mean to say that there is definitely a phase to be involved, and amplitude you're going to vary amplitude also. So it is a combination of a QPSK system and ASK system. That's what has been written over here. The amplitude and phase of the signal is varied. It increases the noise immunity. The system involved varies amplitude and phase, so we call it as quadrature amplitude shift keying, or the other name for this type of technique is called as quadrature amplitude modulation. It uses two quadrature carriers, odd numbers and even numbers. Odd numbers are going to be multiplied or modulated with a carrier signal of cosine nature. Even numbers are going to be modulated under the sine nature of the carrier signal. How to represent a QAM signal? QAM signals can be represented as amplitude is varied. So here you cannot maintain S as the parameter. So S of t is K1 into A into pi 1 of t. Next parameter is K2A pi of t. What is pi 1 of t? It's multiplied with cosine signal carrier. Pi 2 of t, sine signal carrier. What is A amplitude? Amplitude A is going to be 0.1 into ES. ES is the energy content of the signal. So you replace this now. So 0.1 into 2, it will become 0.2 ES by TS, and you can find out. So you can replace ES by TS as power of the signal PS. Okay. What is the transmitter block of your? So there is no more line coders over here. We have two important digital circuits utilized. You will have a series of binary data as the input. So the input is a serial data. But we need to separate into odd and even numbers. So we are going to give it into a serial to parallel converter, first circuit. So we'll have odd bits up, even bits down. Again, this is a digital input. We need to convert it into an analog method, then only we can do the modulation. So we have D2A converter for odd and even. Now the bits are going to be represented as odd bit and even bit. Odd bits will be modulated. It's a transmitter. So we are going to modulate the signal with the carrier information that takes place with cosine signal. Even bits will take place with the sine signal. And the output is added upon. Therefore, the output of your QAM is going to be an odd bit modulated with cosine, even bit multiplied with sine carrier, and combination of the added component is going to be S of t plus Y of t. So S of t you take it as AE into cos omega ct, Y of t is taken as A naught into sine omega ct. What is AE and A naught? We have found out it is 0.2 0.1 root ES. So that is what has been mentioned here. A receiver segment, it's very much easier. Receivers are always made up of correlators, decision devices. We know it. And this decision device are replaced in terms of a reverse pattern, whatever we have done it on the transmitter side. So QAM receivers are called as detection units also. We have original information from a QAM transmitter. We multiply it with the modulators again, which does the detection technique. So top part will be multiplied again with the cosine, bottom part will be multiplied again with the sine. So it is a reverse characteristics. Then the signals are being correlated to produce odd and even outputs. We have the information as an analog, but your output should be digital. Therefore, use a reverse technique, ADC on odd, ADC on even. Now the bits are going to be odd and even separated, but you should have a continuous binary data. Therefore, we go for the parallel to serial converter, and we produce a continuous series binary data output. So whatever we have done it on the transmitter, just reverse the segment on your receiver segment part to obtain a QAM output. What are the important features? Here you can have both amplitude shift keying as well as phase shift keying, and all the things are going to be take place under die bit formulation. So consecutive bits have been formed together to form a symbol, and we have reduction in your transmission bandwidth. What are the drawbacks of QAM with QPSK? Noise is very much higher in QAM, and the probability of error is definitely higher than your QPSK system. So according to the noise immunity parameter to be greater and probability of error to be greater, we try to minimize the usage of QAM unless certain applications requires we try to use this as a QAM technique in the modulation of a communication system. So where do we really apply this PSK modulation techniques and QAM modulation technique? All your present wireless communication or a mobile communication units, whatever we hold it on our hands, the mobile phones, really follow the technique either in the PSK format, shift keying principle of QPSK format, or QAM format. So depending upon each and every company, if I take a Samsung, they have a definite way in which the chip is being developed. So the mother chip, which is your heart part of your mobile communication, will have the technique of QAM. Suppose if I go for Ericsson, they may follow the another technique called as the QPSK system. So but definitely the modulation and demodulation scheme of all your wireless technologies or a mobile communication technologies will follow a technique called as the shift keying principles applied in the transmitter side. We call it as modulation. The shift keying principle applied in your detection side, we call it as the receiver shift keying principles. So this is one of the important application why this shift keying plays a vital role in your communication system. So here we can find out the difference between the four systems whatever we have studied so far. And my previous videos you have discussed about BFSK, QPSK and QAM. So P parameter says that all is phase varying, whereas QAM both amplitude and phase. FSK only phase is varying. How many symbols you can transmit? Here all only one bit, whereas if I go for quadrature thing, you will transmit as die bit. Therefore, the time period you can find out QAM occupies more symbol duration. That's why it is prone to noise more. Whereas the other bit duration is TB. Bandwidth is 2B, 2FB, 4FB, 2FB, FB. So automatically here you can find out that minimum bandwidth is taken by QPSK system. And type of detection method, your QPSK and QAM detects only the coherent method, which is a very good receiver technology which can finely tune into the received content signal. Thank you.